Hey Paul, how's it going?
Remember the 5th of November.
Oh shit, that's today!
November 5th.
Oh, V for Vendetta reference! Or, that thing that happened in history.
Which is probably less important than V for Vendetta.
Yeah, Alan Moore.
Woo!
That movie was pretty good too.
I've professed my disdain for Alan Moore, right? Before?
Like, as being just a weird, pretentious weirdo, or?
I mean, kind of, and just being overrated completely.
I don't know if, I've heard that sentiment before, so I don't know if it came from you too, or what, but that makes sense.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it was an episode that I said that.
Oh, okay.
So, we won't get into that right now.
He's got that snake goddess he believes in, but doesn't really, because he's being facetious, because atheism.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing, but,
Weird.
That movie's better than the book, so I don't know.
I haven't read the book.
In that case, anyway.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
That's an opinion I can have, so.
You can have every opinion.
Yeah. Art in that book is terrible. It's really boring.
I don't remember it at all. I've seen it a few times. I've never read it, though.
Bland. That mask is popular now thanks to Anonymous, but I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's post-Halloween. Speaking of masks, what'd you end up doing? Go walking around getting candy, or?
Like on Halloween?
Yeah, on Halloween night. Hallows Eve. All Saints Day.
I live streamed me playing Resident Evil Director's Cut on the PlayStation.
Director's Cut? Is that the first-person-ish one? Or?
No, that's the first Resident Evil game.
Oh, okay.
Director's Cut being they moved things around in the mansion, and made it harder, so the Director's Cut is harder.
Isn't there a bad first-person Survivor? Is that on?
Gun Survivor?
But there's a
That's on the PlayStation.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, not that one.
Gun Survivor. Yeah, okay.
Gun Survivor.
That one's supposed to be bad, huh?
I liked it.
Oh, okay.
It was okay. It's not great, though.
So the first one, so this is the,
the penultimate, if you will.
Right. What was that Zelda one they did? Ocarina of Time, Master Dungeon or something?
Yeah, the one that came with Twilight Princess, was it? Or Wind Waker? I can't remember. Didn't it come with...
It was Wind Waker. It was like a pre-order bonus.
Right.
It was a sweet bit of business.
Yeah? Okay. Well, there you go.
Well, I mean, it was a bonus disc. It's kind of just a nonsense remixed version of Ocarina of Time. There's cows in dungeon walls, and you have to hit them with a boomerang to open a door.
It was the Zelda remix, the Z-mix,
if
you will.
Yeah. So this Director's Cut is basically that. There's just nonsense in it.
Yeah, it's the remix with the RE capitalized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you beat it, or speedrun?
No, I didn't beat it. It's been years since I played it, and I was playing it on my computer.
Okay.
And so I was using an Xbox controller, and the D-pad on those are garbage.
That's true.
So it was really bad. It went really poorly.
Is that one of those PlayStation games that predates the joystick, so it uses the D-pad?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess I can never play that then. I'll
there
just
you
play the GameCube version, because it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Resident Evil.
Yeah. So that's what I did.
Alright, I went to a screening of a bunch of short films made by local Calgary filmmakers. It was like a 48-hour film challenge thing.
Sounds fun.
It was pretty fun. I was really sick though. So
me too. I've been really sick.
Last week
I think
we recorded, I was just sick, and then just after that went there and was still feeling really weak and stuff, and I don't know.
Yeah, do you still have it? Maybe not now as much, but when you eat, you still get a little queasy? Your stomach's just a little sensitive?
A little bit, yeah.
I've had that for the last week.
You eat a big sandwich or something, and then you just can kind of taste that burny acid taste in the back of your mouth after, and you're just like, uh-oh, that's not good.
Well, I kind of feel that anyways. I have problems with acid reflux a lot of times. So, I'm used to that, but it's the...
Whereas I'm not used to that, so it's been kind of freaking me out.
It's the part where, your stomach is kind of just, gurgly.
It's hey, it's I went to Humpty's. Whatever. You gotta deal with all that.
The Humpty's on McKnight near my house is gone. It's a Greek restaurant now.
That might be better?
I don't know. I'll have to go try it.
Like it was
I
really
never
warm
never
coffee.
minded Humpty's though.
It wasn't bad. It was
But there
just
was a Denny's right
portion size.
across the street from that Humpty's.
I also went to Denny's this week, so living
There
large.
you go.
Yeah.
24-hour breakfast.
Oh, right. That was the thing that happened at Denny's. It was just the slowest service ever, but they knew it and apologized a lot, so it was okay.
Yeah, they're actually not usually that bad at the Denny's I usually
No,
go
it
to
was
around
really
this
weird. I
area.
guess they like my order slip fell off the counter or something, so they just didn't notice it for a
Did
while.
they give you a free waffle or something?
They gave my beverage was free or something.
Whoop-de
I don't,
fucking do.
it was a hot chocolate though, Paul. So
Oh, that's pretty good then.
yeah, it wasn't mixed very well though, but that kind of made it great because there was just this powdery chocolate goo in the bottom.
Speaking of which, I've gotten into the habit. We have free coffee at work,
Mhm.
and they also provide, like, since I work at a charter airline company sort of thing, we have the commissary that they put on planes there too. So they have those hot chocolate packets that you would just add water in.
Oh, okay.
So those are free for us too. So we've been making poor man's mochachinos, just
Nice.
pouring coffee and then the powder stuff. It's fucking delicious and free.
Oh, okay.
So life has been good at the old workplace lately. Well, in that regard, everything else sucks and I want to kill myself. But yeah,
Great.
I gotta look forward to something every day though.
Yeah. I don't know if I have any more. Well, like the kind of general experience of the film screening thing was kind of cool. I got to network with some local people, including a dude who knows people from Hothead Games, which I thought was kind of neat.
Weird.
Yeah, it was like, oh, all right. He pointed me towards a website called Elance, which is apparently the new LinkedIn. That's where the cool kids are at. Getting
Oh, ooh.
yeah. So
So I gotta edit that out so no one listening can be there.
yeah. Oh, right. I don't want anyone else competing for my jobs. So never mind.
So that'll just be
Yeah,
a bleep or
mark it
something.
down, bleep it out,
Yeah.
bleep it out. Don't want people to know. And I don't know. I guess like speaking of airplanes briefly, I saw a movie about an airplane,
Yeah.
so I could talk about that.
Zemeckis.
Zemeckis is back making
Great.
real movies with
Mhm.
cameras. Yeah,
And
it's called Flight. Denzel Washington's in it. It was pretty good,
okay.
but like it was kind of different than I was like. I wasn't sure what that movie was based on the trailer, which I kind of liked because I just was like, "Is this a true story? Like, what is this? What is this?"
Didn't they say it's like based on a true story or something?
I guess it's based on a book, which is based on a true story. Is my
Oh, weird. So it's
and
twice removed.
yeah. That movie is like basically I didn't know what I was in for until I went up to the ticket thing and it was like, "Yo, this movie's 18A." And I was like, "What? I thought this was like a PG drama about some pilot." And it's
Mhm.
just like, "No, this is an R-rated drama about a pilot who's like a total alcoholic and like drug addict." And it's kind of like this whole disaster that happens is kind of this weird puts this weird spotlight on his life, and then he kind of has to deal with his problems.
Mhm.
And yeah, like it's really just an opportunity for Denzel Washington to kind of have one of those big dramatic performances. It's weird though, because like I mean, it's just a story about alcoholism, which isn't new. You know, I don't know
Yeah.
if you saw Leaving Las Vegas. Like,
No, I didn't.
okay. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was just like, oh, okay, dude's struggling with addiction. You know, he's got to get over that and figure that out and everything. It's just like, all right, well, you know, this is a story I've seen, but whatever. It has a really, really well done like plane crash at the beginning. Like it was really quite in, like just man, if this is how this happened, this is exactly how it would happen. Like, it would look like this if a plane started crashing. It was pretty crazy. And yeah, some good performances in it and stuff. John Goodman plays like the worst role model ever.
Okay.
Like he's his buddy who just kind of rolls around with a big bag of illegal stuff and is just like, "Here you go, man. Let's go. Let's get our coke on." And it's like, you what? Like, if anything, it's kind of weird. Like, there's a scene in this movie that just seems to kind of favor being a high functioning addict as opposed to confronting your problems.
Oh,
Like,
weird.
but it like they then kind of counter at the very end. But like, there's like a 5-minute bit of that movie that's really supposed to be kind of just funny, but it's like really irresponsible funny. I wasn't sure what to make of it.
Is that part of the R rating maybe?
like, yeah, maybe that, like, you could see, like, this stuff, like, yeah, because it's not really that harsh of a movie in terms of, like, any one thing that happens. It's more just like there's this casual attitude towards, like, alcohol and drugs and whatnot that could be misinterpreted.
Okay.
So it's like, for young impressionable minds, they might not get that at the end of it he decides to not do that. Obviously, because
So you're saying I need a parent or guardian to see this movie?
or just be old enough and whatever.
Um,
Okay. Oh, right. So there was one element of this movie though I'm still not sure what to make of.
okay.
There's kind of these weird religious undertones in it, and I don't know what side of the line they're on. Because like for
Okay.
me, like
Does that
Zemeckis,
have anything to do with AA? Because AA is
yeah,
notoriously bad for that.
yeah. Like I mean, AA is a part of the movie too, but he kind of doesn't get engaged with it and stuff. But then like they still have some of their slogans and junk up on things
Well, like
later.
the whole thing about AA is like admitting you have a problem and that you're not responsible for anything you do because God has your back.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's disgusting. AA is just fucking deplorable.
but like, I don't know if they really wanted to say AA is like the awesomest thing ever either. Like it didn't really say like, well, obviously you should go to AA. Like it's just like, well, no, like how he goes about it makes sense too. So I don't know. Like it just kind of doesn't really pick a side. And there's like this co-pilot character. There's a scene with him, and it's just like him and his wife being like weirdly overzealous Christians to the point where I was just like, like my friend Ryan is a pastor, so I'm just like, okay, I know I'm like an
Is
atheist.
he really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, dude, we have to talk about that after we're done recording because I had no idea.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's like an assistant kids pastor. So I was just like, okay, is it just me like being hypersensitive because I'm atheist, or is this scene like really hitting this religious note like really really hard? And he's just like, yeah, dude, this is ridiculous. Like there's like a cross on the wall and like they're kissing cross pendants and saying praise Jesus, hallelujah, and stuff like that. It's just like people don't talk like that. Like even nutty Christians, I don't see them talk like that unless I'm just like I'm in a Canadian bubble and up here we're less weird about it or something.
Not as outward with it, maybe. Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
it's like it was just a weird scene, and it kind of just stopped the movie for a bit for me. It's just like, what the hell was that? That was so weird. What were they doing? That's not how people are, is it? Yeah. It was weird. And there's just other like just throughout the movie, there's just kind of little like drops of like, oh, God knows, act of God, God bless, crashed into a church, weird stuff. I'm not sure what that was for. Like it's just like hope comes from different places. Like for example, okay, here's like a minor one that just kind of shows how they're kind of dancing between two different worlds, and I'm not sure what they're getting at.
Okay.
There's like early in the movie this porn director / drug dealer guy.
Okay.
On his chest, there's a tattoo of like the folded hands praying, like that famous kind of wood carving.
Yeah.
Later in the movie, on like the wall of Denzel Washington's like room, which is I guess is his like grandfather's old farmhouse or something, the same thing is there. Like so, like there's just like symbology and stuff like that. That's kind of like it exists amongst these people and these people. Like what does that mean? Like it's like I don't know either. I'm not sure if the movie knows. It's just what. So yeah, that whole part of the movie I wasn't really sure.
Oh,
I guess
weird.
like Zemeckis directed Contact, which is pretty overtly atheist.
Yeah.
So I don't. I'm assuming that's kind of where his leanings are, but I don't know. It's been over a decade since that movie, so who knows where
Things might have changed.
Maybe, but not too much. It was strange. That was just a thing I noticed. If anything, a lot of people are saying the movie's a bit overlong. I'm not sure what I'd cut really. Like I thought it was fine. It was just a kind of big dramatic role kind of movie. Like I had a pretty good time, and that plane crash spectacle is worth seeing. I think it was pretty amazing.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a drama. Like it didn't blow my mind or anything. It was kind of pretty simple. Like I don't know if there's
Wasn't outwardly offensive in any way either.
Yeah, no, not really. Like it was just like it wasn't like super cloying, like sentimental or melodramatic or something. It was just kind of like a well realized little.
So was it just kind of middling the whole time?
I'd put it slightly above middling just because of the cast and some of the performances and stuff. Like Don Cheadle, Bruce Greenwood, and stuff show up too, and they're pretty good.
Right.
But yeah, it's like just kind of a straightforward, straight-laced story. Like it's like, I don't know, like a good Clint Eastwood story or something. You know, that's a bad example.
So not Hereafter then.
Not Hereafter, but no, I don't even know. Like that's like a comparison that might be valuable for
That
some.
they might make.
But they're good at it.
But
that kind of blue collar, straightforward story, like it's one of those.
Okay.
Pretty much. But
gotcha.
Well done, I guess. I don't know. It was fine. And then I rewatched Gone Baby Gone, which I hadn't seen in like 5 years.
Okay.
Just kind of in light of Ben Affleck's recent heralding as the greatest thing that's happened in a while or something.
Didn't they say that with The Town as well, though?
Yeah, and Town, now watching this again, Town is easily my favorite of his 3 movies that he's directed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gone Baby Gone, it's kind of more conventional than I remember. Like, it's just kind of like missing persons case, cop has to, or like detective dude has to deal with that. Bad things happen, I guess. Kind of simple moral dilemmas come up, and yeah, like without the surprise of like the reveal of its big moral dilemma that it lays on you. Have you seen it or?
No.
Okay, it kind of just asks like one question at the end of the movie that kind of is a bit of a twist. And the first time seeing it was like, oh, weird. Second time, it's just kind of like, yeah, okay, no, that makes sense. That all adds up. Whatever. Like, it was just kind of less remarkable.
Okay.
I guess if there's like 1 or 2 things to point out as being like, yeah, all right. Amy Ryan's performance is good, and Ed Harris, I like that dude. So they do good jobs, but overall, it's just kind of an average movie. But yeah, what have you been doing in the worlds of the medias?
Not very much at all, to be completely honest.
Cool stuff, man. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil Director's Cut.
That's right.
Alright.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. I just feel weird. I don't want to just keep talking, but I can.
Well, I don't know. Keep talking, I guess.
Alright, so speaking of Resident Evil Director's Cut, that's a video game. Sort of.
Sort of.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of old now, and D-pad support, so...
Yeah.
But,
well, I mean, I'm used to you having bad taste, so...
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I did buy Hotline Miami.
Oh, you did? Did you play it yet?
Not yet.
Okay. I hope you enjoy it, but I'm baffled by some people not being able to play through it, because for me, that took no time at all.
How long is it, roughly?
Like, if you're remotely competent as a person, like 4 hours. Like,
okay.
At best.
That's a bit longer than I actually thought, so that's pretty cool.
That's like with you kind of like puzzling out how to approach the levels for the first time. After a while, like if you're good enough, like there's no difficulty levels or anything. It's just you getting better at it.
Yeah.
Like an hour, maybe, like 2.
Okay.
If you're blazing, like I think I've gone through it 1 or 2 more times. Just doing combos and stuff. Mm-hmm. The only reason I want to bring it up again is because I was listening through some old Idle Thumbs episodes, and Chris Remo had a great observation about the Max Payne games that I think is part of the reason why I think this game does something different and better. Because in the world of Max Payne, like he points out, if one person in any other situation had personally killed as many people as Max Payne has over the course of a single game, or let alone 3 games, like he would be world renowned as like the most insane person in the world. You know, like he's killed hundreds of people with his like just shooting them, hitting them with bats, like whatever.
Yeah,
you know, like that dude is off the chain killing people.
Yeah.
Yet he's supposed to be kind of like a protagonist. You know,
like an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at some point, like, that just doesn't add up anymore. Like, it's just like, no, you need to be a little more self-reflexive about your actions, Max Payne. Specifically, he pointed out, like, there's a scene in Max Payne 3, which I kind of forgot about, but he turns on the news, and he's just like, really? Must be a slow news day if they're reporting on my stupid shenanigans. And they're just like, no. You are the most insane person in the world. Like, every news station in the world should be talking about this dude just killed 400 people in South America. because that's the craziest thing ever. And
Yeah.
that it doesn't do that and acknowledge how nutty, how much violence is happening is kind of weird. Whereas Hotline Miami, like the whole point of it is you are a depraved serial killer, and at some point over the course of that game's arc, like there is consequences for what's been going on.
Right.
So it actually thought through how violent it is and is appropriate in tone for that, instead of kind of being weirdly traitorous to its own thing. Like it's like games will kind of like combat-oriented games will just kind of be like, well, we have to shoot a lot of people, so let's just shoot a lot of people, and it never really thinks about that ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. At some point, that just doesn't hold water anymore.
Well, that's great to think about it academically like that, but more importantly, is it any fucking fun?
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
It makes
That's really all I care about at this point for this game.
Where's like, but I don't know if is Max Payne still fun?
I don't know. I haven't played it in years, so probably not.
As I was playing it on the iPad, I wasn't sure if I wasn't having fun because of how crappy that control scheme is for that game.
Touch screen.
It was really poor. Like I was more
Yeah.
just impressed that technically it ran on the iPad and looked like Max Payne, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, it's just control weird. But then also I was kind of looking at it like this is literally like Final Fight structure. You know, like you enter an area. There's like 6 dudes.
Kill everything, then leave, and then go to the next area.
And then basically an arrow appears on screen and says, "All right, go over here."
Yeah.
Like that's almost what's happening. Whereas, yeah, like I don't know. Like in fact, in Hotline Miami, there literally is an arrow that appears, but like it's like you're entering an area and like your whole mission is just this 3-story building has 50 dudes in it. You need to kill them all. You know, like that's it.
Now, if you die when you're on like dude 49, do you have to do all 50 again?
No, which like
okay.
You know, that sounds like a good thing normally, but like I wish there was an option for that to kind of make the tension even higher.
Mm.
You know? Like they kind
of a hardcore mode or something.
Yeah, like I really wish there was a hardcore mode that's just like each level is you only get 1 checkpoint per level, because the way they do it is each floor is a checkpoint.
Okay.
So you enter like a big area and there's like maybe 13 dudes, which is its own challenge, you know, like to do that well.
Yeah.
But it kind of like a Meat Boy style reset, start over thing. Like it's really fast. Like it just lets you run through it over and over and over really quickly. Which is its own kind of combat flow thing. But I don't know. It would change the game yet again if they made it more tense that way by upping the stakes.
Now, is this coming from a person that has actually beaten it a whole bunch of times, though, or as a general game enthusiast? Because you've beaten it a lot, so, like...
This is probably me as... Well, I don't know, kind of both. Like, it's me kind of running out of things to do, but also, like, a point of observation of just, like, if you want to just add a whole different thing for weird people to do, it wouldn't take much to tweak that.
Right.
If you wanted to.
Really, really the only tweaking would be when you click this option, there's no more checkpointing.
Yeah, maybe it would get really more frustrating than I can anticipate at this time. Then, like, because you are kind of so accustomed to being able to start over again.
Well, there are people that will go into Diablo with hardcore characters, and they'll get to like level 60 whatever, and then they will die. Like, and then they just do it again. So there is a market for that.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing I was suggesting Dead Island do. That would make it more interesting.
I completely agree with Dead Island. I mean, I'd probably agree with Hotline Miami, maybe. I just haven't played it yet, so I don't know.
Yeah. I guess the only reason I kind of want to bring that up as well is, like, now for me, like, the challenge isn't beating the level. Like, that's fine. That's easy.
It's doing it in the weirdest way possible.
It's getting combos now. Like, it's all score driven now is what I'm chasing. Like, you got to get A+ on every level.
So it's very much a retro game now for you.
Yeah, it's becoming more Smash TV like or something. Like, it's weird. Or I don't know. It's much more twitchy and fast, and I kind of have to work out the best way to chain a whole floor using the different.
Now, is there a system in that, or is that just your own meta game you're doing now?
Oh no, there's totally different multipliers and ways of getting better.
Okay.
And, like I'm still trying to figure out. Like, actually, yeah, like there's certain weapons that'll get you crazy points for using them because they're so ineffective but really gruesome.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Like that's its a whole own thing because it's so slow. You might not be able to combo, but you just got like 5,600 points for one dude.
So every weapon has its own like statistics for when you use them. Like what?
I think that factors into the boldness score. Like it's
Okay.
kind of cowardly to use a gun. Is I think part of its thing. Like if you just run into a room and throw a bat at a dude, you'll get more points than if you just shot him.
Okay.
Because like that's a crazier thing to do, I guess. So
Also, it's probably funnier too to see.
well, yeah, like bouncing a brick off two dudes is really hard to do. That's an achievement for that. I don't know. It's got its whole thing going on. But yeah, just want to say once again it's a great game and I like it. Plague Incorporated. Have you played this at all?
Yeah, quite a bit of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've been behind on this one. I just kind of was like, oh, is it like Pandemic? Oh, it's the opposite of Pandemic. And then for some reason, I didn't think that would be good.
But
at all.
yes, it is kind of like Pandemic as well.
Right, but you're playing the virus.
You are playing the other side for sure.
Or like you're David Morrissey in 12 Monkeys, and you have to spread that plague.
But not quite because you are the plague.
I guess yeah. But you're
just like what's his name in Hackers.
Oh, I haven't seen Hackers. But,
ever?
No.
Oh, weird.
Angelina Jolie?
That is that one, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just never bothered seeing it.
Mm.
I did see the net, though, so...
Oh, there you go.
From the 90s.
You're halfway there.
Yeah, and I finally saw Pirates of Silicon Valley. But yeah, Plague Incorporated. I finally killed the world yesterday, so
okay.
I managed to do that first time. Have you successfully done that, or...?
I'm on Fungus, or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I just got the second one, Virus, which apparently is hard to control.
Mm.
But,
Fungus is annoying.
Like, it's hard to... Like, yeah, it's kind of neat how the strategy that's... Like, for me, like, the first one was, like, Bacteria or whatever.
Yeah.
Which, like, over the course of it, like, it was just kind of, like, slowly figuring out what I was doing wrong to kind of... Like, I was making it too deadly too fast was my thing.
Right, so they were looking for a cure really fast early on.
Like
what you gotta do is you gotta spread to everybody and then just hit them with the haymaker.
Yeah, it was so brutal when I actually did it. Like,
but you feel kind of, like, good about it. It's sick.
Kind of like, it does that kind of DEF CON thing where you, like, the sheer number of people you're dealing with murdering and, like, kind of the cold tone.
No, like, definitely. Like, the
music is supposed to be kind of messed up.
And you see the score counter going up, or the kill count, rather.
Yeah.
Like, it's just great seeing you infecting everything. And then,
if anything, like, maybe the game's sense of humor I find a little inappropriate.
But then, like, you turn your strain or whatever to do paralysis and then, like, stroke and heart failure all at the same time, and you see that death count just go up crazy.
Right. Like, that part I'm fine. Like, okay, like, for me, it really is Contagion and the last scene of Rise of the Planet of the Apes where there's a whole map of the virus spreading all over the map.
Sure,
like,
yeah.
Literally that screen, basically, is what the gameplay consists of, is just looking at a screen of the world and the different ship routes and plane routes and stuff that are connecting all the places, and you're trying to figure out how to infect everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any cases where, like, a single country screwed you over?
Yeah, New Zealand.
Okay, New Zealand for you. For me, it was Angola the first time. Like, they just had it down, which was so weird and frustrating because they're, like, in mainland Africa. So there's no reason they shouldn't just be able to spill over there, but they, like, shut down all public buildings, and they were, like, quarantining and killing people who were infected, like, really quickly.
Yeah.
So I only ever managed to kill 157 people in the entire country, and then, like, everyone else died, and there was no more means of getting in there.
For me, there's only one plane that ever goes to New Zealand, and, like, a few boats.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to infect, and then I keep going fatal before, like, a bunch of people are infected, so the 2 people that were infected just die. And then, like, everyone else is totally fine.
Yeah, then it happened again with Greenland for me. Like, I was just like, yeah, I got the whole planet. Wait a minute, what's with Greenland? Why is it still white? And then I just checked, and there's, like, 55,000 people that are just totally fine. Nothing happened. Like, they're just like, oh, the world died. Whatever. Like, they're just living fine in Greenland. And there was no way to infect it, because, like, birds and everything, like, I don't know. How do you get in there? Like, I was trying to de-evolve stuff to evolve wild animals.
Yeah.
Could carry it.
Yep.
but I just didn't have enough DNA points in time, and then literally everyone else died.
The one that makes spores in the air after like the boils or whatever burst. That's a pretty good one too.
Yeah, I've been using like air infectivity and water infectivity, like maxing those two chains out every time.
Totally. Yeah.
But at least that's what criteria. Like I don't know if virus changes the game. I'm kind of curious to play it again. I enjoy playing it though. It's kind of like it's 2-3 hours maybe each time I go through it. Like at least that
You can
one.
make it like a 10-minute game if you speed it up though.
Oh yeah, I'm not speeding up. I just kind of like slowly watching it happen and listening to the Contagion soundtrack,
Yeah.
which I've done.
Yeah,
Um,
totally. And
it has,
also if you want to speed it up, you have to pay for it. For me.
oh, if I want to speed it up past a certain point, yeah. Like there's a double time or something. But
I don't have any of that. It's completely free on Android unless you want to speed it up at all.
yeah, I paid them $1. So I guess I bought some base version of the game that's a bit different, but there's still like pay to unlock the other things if you want, but then you're kind of running the game.
Yeah.
Because for me, each tier of like type is its own game. So you're trying to like solve this virus puzzle, and then you get to move on to the next challenge.
And honestly, it's just hard to adapt your virus as well when you're going too fast.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't know, like for like $1, and like it's been pretty popular for a while. Like it's one of the top iOS games and everything. But I finally decided, oh, let's check this out. And yeah, there's some reason behind it. I guess yeah, like I said though, like the sense of humor seems a little weird. Like there'll be like those fake news updates.
Yeah.
And some of them
make no sense at all.
Or some of them are just like silly jokes. Like it's just like Justin Bieber got trampled by fans in Toronto.
Yeah,
like,
I saw that one.
Really, you gotta make a Justin Bieber joke in here? Like we're killing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's really funny though.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Like have you played DEF CON?
No, I haven't.
Okay, like that game's kind of just nuclear war, the simulator, but like a similar kind of cold map screen, and then you're just kind of trying to see if your country can quote win, but no one wins is kind of the like ultimate lesson, I guess, is just like, yay, only 490 million people died. So yeah, it's just like that's really bad. It's horrible. So yeah, but they're completely cold about it, and it's kind of creepy and scary. Like it's really war games. Like if you've seen war games, it's if war games ended badly, and like that in the room and everything, just kind of, it's not just a simulation. It's actually people. It was, I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's by the same guys who made that weird strategy game, Darwinia.
Never played it.
Okay, they're cool dudes. Uplink. They did a hacker game.
I did play that one.
That was them too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, finally checked that out. And lastly, I just finished playing it before we started recording. Bioshock 2, Minerva's Den.
I've been wanting to play that forever now. I just haven't gotten around to it, I guess.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten around to it for a long time. Like it was, I think it won Best DLC on Giant Bomb in like 2011.
Is it pretty good?
It was good, but like the thing for me was like it's about as good as Bioshock has ever gotten. But for me, that doesn't mean it's the best thing ever, because I'm not the biggest fan of that series in general. So, like, my issue with it was just kind of like, I don't find the combat super satisfying. Like, it's kind of squishy, if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't, but okay.
Well, something about the aiming. Like, it's just like, it feels too chaotic for me to feel like I'm in control of being awesome or something. Like, I'm, like, in this one, I think you're still some manner of Big Daddy. Like in Bioshock 2 Core, like the main game. Have you played Bioshock 2?
Well, do you not use the plasmids?
You do use plasmids and everything.
No, I mean you specifically. Because if you don't, then of course, like the aiming is terrible. It's all about using plasmids to enhance every other ability.
But I just want to shoot dudes with my gun.
Okay, then yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from then. Because what you do is, like, you have your, like, ice or whatever, you freeze them, or then you, like, throw water on them and electrocute them or something.
Yeah, like, I had a plasmid at the ready at all times, because it's 2, but I was mostly using them for puzzle stuff, and then just throwing bolts of fire or lightning at a dude, but, yeah, I wasn't really doing the puzzly thing. Because, I don't know, like, maybe it's just because like I had the difficulty set on normal, so it's not like every fight is that hard. Like, but that combined with Vita Chambers, like it just kind of makes it not tense. So I just didn't care.
Right.
Like it's just like, I guess I could kind of like sneak into this room and like put down some trap rivets.
But
And
unlike Hotline Miami, this game does give you the avenues to make it more fun and challenging for yourself if that's the
but
issue.
it's not challenging inherently. So, like, oh, you're saying like I should have put it on hard or something?
On a not hard, just a harder difficulty. Because I agree, like the normal default difficulty is easy.
Okay,
I don't know about Minerva's Den though.
like I'm
Like
not sure if I
specifically.
wanted it to be harder anyway, because like the things this game does well aren't the combat anyway.
Well,
Like,
it's atmosphere.
yeah, it's that same kind of weird setting of rapture and stuff. But
Yep.
like what this specific one does is it has its own neat little plot arc in it that is it's well executed.
Okay.
I can't really get into spoiler specific whatever, but like in general though, like it still felt like a very kind of guided experience in a way.
Okay.
Like, but in like a more kind of you can't get into this place until you get this new plasmid ability, so you got to go find that, and then you can open this door and whatever. And it's just like I don't know. Like I've played stuff like this before, so I don't know what I expected. Like it's still very very Bioshock.
Yeah.
And I was hoping for some sort of really weird reinvention of that, and it's not that. It's just a really well done small version of that.
Okay.
It's like it's like a 4-hour game.
Kind of like the Dead Rising Case Zero or whatever.
Sure, like it
Like
kind of
it's
summarizes the best things about that, like that whole Bioshock thing in like its own little story,
right.
and that's fine. Like it was well done, but it wasn't. I don't know. Like it's not something I can go back to. I kept like obviously like it's my thing. It's my go-to point of reference now for first-person stuff because I'm one of those guys. But Far Cry 2,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't do that. Where it just sets up kind of this series like this. You can't go back and redo it over and over. It's one set thing.
Arguably, Far Cry 2 is less of a game and more of a sandbox, though.
Right. Like that's what I like though. I just like existing.
Then why would you play a game that's a game like Bioshock if what you want is a sandbox?
The first one had kind of more open areas, right?
Not really. It was pretty linear as well.
Yeah, I guess they should probably just stop making games like that. It's kind of my.
So I'm guessing you will not be buying Bioshock Infinite.
I'm kind of concerned about it. Yeah, like every trailer I've seen of late, especially, looks very straightforward, and I'm just like.
I haven't really seen any lately. The only ones I've seen have been like almost like 2 years old now, or whenever the first ones were coming up.
I guess it's going around. It's called the pre-order trailer. Like,
okay.
Making a push for that now because it's like 4 months out or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, that was on front page of IMDb and stuff. Like they're pimping it pretty hard.
Oh, really?
There is a new trailer out there, but yeah, like just everything in it is just kind of like, hey, straight like you're kind of going through these levels and shooting stuff and weird things are happening, but it looks very kind of corridors and I don't know.
I'll have to take a look.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously they want to make it look like a big action thing for the trailer, so maybe it's not as cut and dry as that, but it didn't look super interesting to me.
Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about trailers anymore. They seem to just be really manipulative in every way and never actually show what a game's about anymore.
Like poor summaries of what the game might actually be.
I think more poor reflections on what they think their consumer base wants to see in a video game.
Yeah. Like she's like, you want explosions and guns, right? It's like, actually, there's a lot of that. So if you can show me something that makes this have a little more character or something,
that would be great. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And they don't seem to really market it that way.
No explosions.
Explosions is what we need.
Love explosions.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm trying to. Yeah. I don't know. I want a renewable experience. That's different, but the same. Like an old school arcade game, right?
Yeah, like there's very few big companies that make those experiences anymore. That's where the indie developers come in.
Yeah. Anyway, it was definitely worth the $10 and the time and stuff though. So
that's good at least. At least you got like that out of it.
Oh, for sure. Like I stayed engaged the whole time. Like I played it in one sitting, so I wouldn't say it has any kind of bad slumps in it, really. It was just more like the whole structure of it was much more, like, recognizable. It was like, oh yeah, okay, Bioshock, than I was hoping. I don't know. I expected weird things, but
Yeah.
oh well. And yeah, my big rationale for going to it right now is because Steve Gaynor, who is another Idle Thumbs guy, was a lead designer on that.
Yeah.
And what he's working on now looks interesting. It's called Gone Home, which I think is no combat. It's just you kind of exploring a really detailed space in first person.
Yeah, that's what he was talking to the Giant Bomb guys about a while back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, was he on their Bombcast or something, or was this a PAX interview?
It was, I think it was maybe not PAX interview. It was like a special event interview where I think it was Patrick Klepek, him, and maybe Ryan Davis.
Oh, okay.
Just chatting about stuff, and he was talking about it. Oh, I think he had dropped by because he was like, he started up his own company or something.
Fulbright, yeah.
Fulbright, yeah. So he was going around and just like talking to the friends he's made in like the video game
Well, I think they're
journalists.
all California, like San Francisco locals.
Yeah, so he's just been going around talking to people and stuff, and he went in
Okay.
there one day and they were asking him what he's up to, and he mentioned that, and how
Right.
it's like horror done his way is the new game and stuff like that. So I don't know. It should be okay.
I'm curious how unconventional it can be.
Yeah.
Without kind of like, because I mean, like, you're obviously you're making a Bioshock expansion, so you have to kind of stick within that framework.
Right.
And you can kind of do some little things here and there, but yeah, it's still very much like it was weird in this one. Like, I mean, the big daddies and little sisters are still kind of going around, but I just felt no inclination at all to kill them because
I'll be completely honest with you. By around the halfway point, if not earlier, in Bioshock 2, actually even in Bioshock 1, by the end, I had no reason to kill them. I just walked past them most of the time.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't want to mess with them. They're fine. They're doing their thing.
They're not doing anything. They're walking around. Like,
and that was like fine. Like the game didn't really get annoyed with me for that. Except at the end of each level, it'd be kind of like, hey, you didn't kill any of these. You need that atom, right? And I was just like, well, no, I don't know. I think I'm fine. You're just like, you can't come back. I'm good. Don't worry about it. And yeah, like it
that's
didn't
kind of
feel
weird.
Yeah, it was weird to have it kind of that crudely.
It's kind of pushy.
presented. It was a little weird. Like I wasn't really sure why they bothered doing that. Like, I guess it was maybe just them kind of trying to be user friendly. Like it's just like, oh, if you're thinking like, oh, I'll just backtrack and do that later, you can't. Maybe that's all they were trying to really convey. But like, I remember specifically in the first game, they make it pretty clear early on. If you don't kill them, there's reward in that too, and you just get a big thing of Adam every so often.
Right, they give you a present.
Yeah, that was kind of a lazy way of doing that, maybe, but
yeah,
that was the thing. In this one, like, you just don't get that Adam, but I didn't feel like
I'm okay with that. I think that's better.
Yeah, like, it made me kind of have to, deal with the, like, spend more money on bullets and stuff and kind of be more...
Well, I like it when a game makes you actually feel consequence. Like, I don't like it when you choose... It's like, oh, choose this or this, but you will get the same outcome in the end. I like the idea of you save them, so now you're not getting anything. You should just feel happy that you did the right thing. Good job, hero. Yeah. Keep going.
It doesn't really reward you for not doing it, but
because life doesn't reward you for doing good things.
That's true. So yeah, in that respect, that was kind of a weird little thing. I guess there's a new type of Big Daddy too. I guess was part of the thing. Maybe that's why they're like, you should fight these dudes. They're new. They got new moves, and she's like, I don't care. I don't want to do that. But yeah, what was it? Should have gone home. Oh yeah, there's a Chris Remo joke in there too. Oh, that was pretty funny.
Oh really?
Like, just keep an eye on those recordings. One of them is, just look at the names. On that note, though, one just kind of beef with, like, all of Bioshock that finally kind of was really apparent to me. Like, I mean, everyone's kind of pointed out how silly it is that there's these, like, giant tape recorders everywhere that people have just recorded their thoughts on. Like, that's silly. But, like, for me, like, all you need to do to make it just slightly less ridiculous, why don't you just have a tape recorder and you find tapes? Like, why is there all these recorders? There's these big giant recorders everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. For some reason, that stood out as being like, that's an easy thing. Like, I would be more inclined to buy that someone just has a reel of tape in their desk office than a whole giant thing as well as in their locker and down on this table.
Yeah, and in the ventilation system where they were hiding.
Yeah, like, it's just like, it's at some point my suspension of disbelief, like, that's just logical. Like, I just can't handle this anymore. Like, why don't you just slightly tweak it a little bit? You don't even, it's like you make a smaller model for the thing. It's a little tape. It's not that hard. I don't know. I'm not sure why they did that. Like, I mean, Singularity did that too, and it seemed extra ridiculous there because I think
Fear did it too.
Yeah, like audio logs are just kind of
weird.
I don't know. It's a hard thing to justify, and like in that very Bioshock way, like it conveys a lot of its story that way.
Which is why they force it upon you, because they know that most gamers will just, like, if it's something you have to read or open a log up for, they just pass it by right away. They don't think about it.
Right, and like, they do kind of reward you just by providing that richness. Like, I was able to kind of figure out some big story beats before because I was listening to those things.
Right.
But not in a bad way where it's just like, oh no, the surprise is ruined. It's just kind of, oh, I wonder if it's gonna, oh, interesting, and then it does, and it's just like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, that's awesome. I that makes sense. That adds up. Like,
yeah.
They thought about this. So yeah, I don't know. Like, generally, yeah, I get why it was well regarded and everything. Really annoying trying to get it though. Like, PlayStation Network was just causing weird problems, and I had to update it, delete some stuff to make space because it had to do the Bioshock 2 install, I guess, as well.
Oh, weird.
So I just have 5 gigs of Bioshock 2 and then 1.5 gigs of this on there too.
Awesome.
But I'm done with it now, so now I can re-download Space Marine. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know.
A man chooses, a slave obeys.
And but anyway. I don't know. That's it for games I've actually played.
I guess staying on the video game thing quickly.
Yeah.
I saw Video Games Live this weekend.
Oh, you went to the concert. Okay.
I did. Yeah.
What's new? I haven't been in a couple years.
Like, depending when you've gone, nothing.
Did they actually get the Square license this time, so you can see Cloud and stuff?
So we could see Cloud?
And, like, Sephiroth and all that awesome stuff.
Like, what do you mean, on stage?
Okay. My only thing, like, the only reason I bring this up is because, like, they played, like, music from Kingdom Hearts or something when I was there.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, Square wouldn't let us have any assets at all. Like, no...
Oh,
anything.
You mean gameplay footage?
Yeah, gameplay footage.
No, they have to do the fan art.
Right, so they did fan art, cosplayers, and Disney footage.
Yes.
Like, Disney was actually more, like, amenable to, like, oh yeah, dude, throw some Aladdin in there, I don't care. Instead of Square showing anything. Which is super weird to me, because you're essentially just pimping their stuff, but apparently they're not into that.
It's annoying because Nobuo, I never say his name right, Nobuo Uematsu or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, he is one of the iconic video game orchestra type people, and all his music is the Final Fantasy stuff. Mm-hmm. So they're really kind of screwing them over by not letting them use stuff for that.
Like, I guess it fits with my perception of how
Square is.
Like, yeah, like, specifically people talking about TGS, like, you're just walking around with the camera, blogging or something, and then they'll just walk up to you with, like, a big X with their hands and be like, stop it! Stop what you're doing! You can't record right now! And you're just like, what? It's like some, I don't know, it's Tactics Advanced or something. I don't care.
Or like a fan creates all their own assets and engine and try to release a fan-made Chrono Trigger type thing, and they get a cease and desist letter and, like, legal action threatened.
Yeah, thanks, Square.
Like, it's fucking stupid. Even EA's not that bad for that stuff. Like, if EA isn't as bad as you're acting, you're doing something wrong.
Was there a King's Quest thing? Or no, that was Activision, right?
Activision, yeah.
But they actually, I think, they then re-released the King's Quest collection or something, and that was cool.
Yeah.
But whatever.
So yeah, it was okay. They didn't do Metal Gear Solid, which is annoying because it's my favorite music.
Oh, Harry Gregson Williams, dude.
They did Mass Effect, which is okay, but I don't really care about that music in... Sorry.
There's some good music in the third one, though. There's one song specifically. Did they do that one, or...?
They did the the main theme.
Oh, like the whoop, 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 whoop,
yeah.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, that's my favorite Mass Effect song.
Is it?
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that just sounded like bad dubstep approximation to me. Whoa.
Okay. I guess it's bad dubstep then. No, it's their main theme for Mass Effect.
Oh, like, okay, so like the Normandy comes into the hangar.
Kind of, yeah.
Music swells up. It's like vague. It's like half remembered. I mostly remember like weird title screens.
And that's the thing, it's forgettable at best.
Yeah,
So,
it's epic sci-fi music.
And
so, yeah.
like they did some other things weird that I didn't really agree with. Castlevania music is fantastic. It's some of my favorite.
Yeah.
They did that first, which is weird to me as an opener because
like
it's
your showstopper kind of moment thing.
It's an encore thing for me because you start off like first of all they had weird audio issues all night. Someone wasn't mixing the audio properly, so it sounded really weird. There was parts where Tommy was really loud in the mic and his guitar was really quiet, and the orchestra can't be louder than like they can be, really, even mic'd. So there was so when Castlevania starts off, there's some issue. Thanks for I just read that. When Castlevania starts off, there's some issues because it's really loud, but Tommy's even louder when he's screaming into the mic, like getting everybody riled up. It's really fast paced, so the band hasn't warmed up from playing all night yet. And like there's some technically difficult things musically in there too. So there was some parts where they were messing up. Like it was just kind of gross.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Bad sound issues. Where was it? Just at the Epcor kind of?
No, at the Jubilee.
Oh, okay.
Overall, it was a decent night, though.
Whenever I went last time, there was like some sort of Guitar Hero contest.
They do that every time.
Oh, okay. I thought
this time it was Foo Fighters' The Pretender.
Okay. That was probably 2-3 years ago when I went. But yeah. So Tom Talarico's still totally there.
I like that guy.
Yep.
He's a really, really nice guy.
Did you go with people? Like, was there a crew?
I went with Aaron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was there other people we know there? Nerding it up?
Are you talking about Proton John, the one and only?
Conceivably, he could have been there.
The one and only Proton John was, in fact, there.
Whoa. Okay.
We locked eyes and we actually waved to each other. It was the most magical moment of my life.
I wasn't trying to be all facetious about it. I was just...
we
know other nerd people. Like, did your friend Mark go?
No. Nobody, like...
Or the other Steve, or whatever. The other John.
What other John?
Isn't there another John?
Oh, the other John.
Yeah, did the other John go?
No, like, no one that would hang out at my house when we all get together, besides John with his girlfriend and crew, were there.
Oh, okay.
That I could tell.
Yeah.
There was a guy that was going out with Aaron for a while, though, there.
Oh, okay.
And I was bugging her, saying I should go talk to him, and she got embarrassed.
Oh, okay.
I didn't end up going to talk to him, because that'd be weird.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
Alright, so Video Games Live still could, I guess, if it's in your town, check it out. Although, maybe, if you know sound, volunteer, because apparently they're accepting everybody.
Like, kind of. I'm really disappointed in just Calgary as well.
Like, for concert?
Because nobody was really getting into it. Right in front of me, there was a bunch of douchebags that, like...
Oh, you're saying, like, the audience was kind of shitty?
Yeah, like, Calgary as an audience. Like, right in front of me were these douchebags that obviously just came from the bar.
Yeah.
Like, bro, what do you think you're doing here, dude? Why don't you go get iced? Like, it was just stupid. There's, like... They actually left most of the way through. Like, why were you here? They were wearing, like, the Ed Hardy shirt, and they had, like, the whore girlfriend that was all dolled up, like they were going to a night at the opera or something.
Weird.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? It's called Video Games Live. Like, are you just here to hear Halo, which they didn't even play, which is hilarious because that game's coming out?
They didn't play Halo?
They didn't play Halo?
Alright. They played Halo when I was there.
Yeah, and their version of it's really good. So
I guess were there other notable admissions or inclusions or omissions?
Omissions?
Yeah.
Notable. Well, I mean, like I said, Metal Gear Solid.
Like
huge
no
one
Nintendo
for me.
music at all. It was weird.
Laura was there, doing her thing. So she did the Legend of Zelda mashup type thing.
Okay.
And she also did the Mario thing. They didn't have Martin Leung or whatever his name was, the blind pianist. He didn't come this
He's
time.
not there this time.
No, it was just Laura this time that they brought.
Okay.
Like they did some weird ones. They did Street Fighter.
All right.
That was okay. I'm just trying to
like the Street Fighter 4 theme song, like that.
Street Fighter 2.
Oh, okay.
The classic, like dun 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 dun. You know the one.
Yeah.
So they did that.
I'm trying to remember the Street Fighter 4 one though. I just remember the lyrics.
Yeah, the Street Fighter 4 one. Oh man. No, I'm trying. They did some weird, kind of obscure ones. Like they did Earthworm Jim, which was kind of great still because I really like the music in that game. But like Earthworm Jim, half the people that were in the audience probably weren't even born when that came out. So whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It was a decent night. I guess I bought the Blu-ray. It was only $20, so got that to look forward to watching that at some point.
It's the best song.
You looked up the lyrics, didn't you?
I'm listening to it right now. I'm sorry.
With that, we're going to take a little break, and we're going to come back, and we will talk about some TV, and we'll have a special guest, so we'll be back in a second. And we're back!
Hey.
Without a guest.
Oh, did we promise a guest before the break?
We did promise a guest before the break.
Right, he raided so hard he fell asleep. No, I have no idea what happened.
He raided himself to the hospital.
I think he's playing Postal, so maybe...
That's someone else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was Eno?
That's Eno, but the guest was Panic Knife.
Right.
So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to give you politic talk.
Well, not really. No, American elections tomorrow. We're Canadians, so we have snarky things to say, but they're not educated, really. So
yeah, like we have no idea. We don't care because we can't vote in your election, even though what happens in your election will likely affect us. So thanks.
Yeah, vote Gary Johnson. I
don't know. What's a party that you can just kind of throw your vote away in?
Green? Does that exist down there? I don't know.
They must have something similar.
Right. That probably has no chance whatsoever. Dude, it's going to be weird. I'm going to pay attention to the results and stuff tomorrow, but, like, in the meantime, yeah. Whatever.
Otherwise, we could have another American Revolution.
Another American Revolution.
Yep.
That could happen.
And then Assassin's Creed 4 will have to take place in these days.
Yeah, because, I mean, the third one's based off the last Revolutionary War, so...
Right.
Boom. There you go. Yeah, I don't really know. Like, I haven't played it. Full disclosure.
Full disclosure, I will not play it.
You know what? From what I've seen, I don't think I will either. And like, okay, I know that's like, why? What value is an opinion based off of not playing the game? I just want to basically have a little soapbox about Assassin's Creed in general.
No, dude, we played the game.
I played.
Like, if you've played any. If you've played 1, 2, like Brotherhood, if you played any of them, you've played the game times however many games of it you've played. It's the same fucking game.
This one, what seems to be different based on the hour and change...
Is trees? Great.
I saw, yeah, there's big empty forests with animals in them.
Oh man, when I think of a game where I can go around killing anybody I want, I'm sure glad that we're in trees.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid.
Although that one scene in The Patriot was dope. So,
yeah, it was pretty good.
If it's that
we're not talking about The Patriot.
We're not, but if there's little caravans of redcoats going around, like, I guess that could provide some weird kind of, like, you gotta cut their supply lines or something, but I'm not sure if that system is in there. Mainly what I hear is there is naval combat in the game, so great. That's what I always wanted.
Yep.
Okay, whatever. The main issue I have with what I've seen is the ending ends with, like, a 10-minute cutscene. And I'm not going to tell you what's in that cutscene because it kind of doesn't matter. I'm sick of games ending with non-interactive bad movies to kind of cap off their experience. You know, like, it's a video game. You know, you're supposed to do the thing. And
Okay, explain something different then. Like, give an example
okay,
of what you would
it
like.
brought me an exam. It brought me to thinking through a thing I think kind of has it both ways and does it reasonably well. Even though I don't love the game, it does it better. Portal 2 ends with you shooting a portal at the moon. Okay?
Okay, yeah, so you actually trigger the event that ends the
Right.
game.
And like I mean, it puts you in a scenario where I mean, what else are you going to do? But you've heard about how the moon dust and stuff is a conducive portal surface throughout the game. So at that moment, it's like, "Oh shit, yeah." Then you hit the button. And that's it. It was really easy, but you did an interactive nutty thing. And that's it. Like so all I want is like you play as Desmond and something weird happens, but you do the thing. Like you walk into the chamber and or whatever, or you run up on the guy. Like you do it. You don't watch it happen. Because at that point, why
Oh,
are you playing
dude,
the
you
video game?
watch it happen? That's so fucking stupid.
Like there's a yeah. What I saw was just like an 11-minute video. Like it just totally takes control away from you, and you watch the end happen. And it's just like this is just bad. Like this is just poor. I'm not, debating like whether or not the stuff that happens within that cutscene was intelligently brought up or whatever, or like the story pays off or anything. It's more just like I want to do the cool stuff personally, just
And
generally.
then you want the movie at the very end to be the
Like, and then
consequences
I'll
of
watch
your
Michael
action of doing
Fassbender
the
do
ending.
it. Yeah, I'll watch Michael Fassbender do it in like 3 years on a screen in a
Right.
movie. Like
Right.
that's like let me be Nolan North and do the thing. I don't know why this is so hard. Like they just don't trust the player to do it right or something. I don't really know. But whatever. Like aside from that, like it has the pseudo stealth and the assassinating and whatever. I've heard some whispers of technical glitches and stuff, but they all have that. So, this one's the same.
Mhm.
But yeah, maybe it's fine. Like I mean, some people are giving it pretty solid reviews and stuff, but it's just I don't know. It's not what I want from video games.
I don't think I can agree with anybody that actually likes those games, though.
Like is passionate about them. That I don't understand.
Passionate, that's what I should say. It's totally okay to like something
Like it's
just
like a
because it's
movie.
fun. But the fact that, like, if you have an Assassin's Creed poster, like, what are you doing?
Like
Really?
barely characters. Like they're I don't know. Like
And
I guess Ezio was around long enough that people could have been like, yeah, fun Italian guy, whatever. But
so I heard something interesting,
okay.
and Assassin's Creed has had one character I cared about,
Oh yeah.
Desmond.
Okay, yeah. They do stuff with that.
Yeah, so I heard that this ends the Desmond storyline
Well, this is the end of the Desmond
trilogy.
which is 5 games.
Yeah. So I really shouldn't care now.
Post this game,
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Like, what are they doing? Why didn't they do anything with him? Why wasn't he the assassin? Why did they make Brotherhood and Revelations? Why weren't these games, like, why wasn't 3 right after 2, and then maybe 4, and then 5 could have been Desmond in, like, present day? Like, why are they doing this?
What's gross about it is like the answer is literally just money. Like it's a
fucking
commercial
disgusting.
franchise, right? And like yeah, it's been a conversation that's coming up more and more. Like it rarely happens with movies where someone's just like, this new movie's coming out, we've already, we got 6 more on the way or whatever. Like it happens sometimes, like Hobbit is a trilogy, like that's gonna happen.
It has to be, though.
It kind of has to. Well, it has to be more than. It has to be one full thing, and whether or not that
Well,
takes
like, because
hours.
I don't know when the last time you read that book was, but there's a lot of stuff that happens in it.
It's a dense little book, but
Like, if
they
anything,
also
The
add-
Hobbit I could see being a trilogy, and then the Lord of the Rings stuff should have been like 9 movies, if we want to
or
go
like an
into that.
HBO series or something. Yeah,
It's
there's a
pretty
lot.
big. There's a lot that happens.
Yeah, or like there's all this Stephen King talk now about Dark Tower, and I was like, that can't be a movie. You need to make a lot of stuff if you're gonna do that.
No, that could be a movie that, like, you release a new movie every month for, like, 2 years.
Oh,
that would
you
be
wanna
kind of amazing.
They had like a crazy, nutty, ambitious multimedia plan for that too, and it just was like, dude, this is such a huge investment.
It just fizzled out.
Right. So like, either do it right or don't do it. Like that's
Going back to Assassin's Creed, they're doing it wrong.
they kind of got lost in the money or something at some point. Yeah, because like I mean I don't even think I'm gonna say like 2 is fantastic. I've said it's kind of faded a lot.
I
But it
don't
was a
get the
fun
love for
weekend.
Ezio personally.
You don't get the love for Ezio?
I don't. I don't
I
understand
don't
that.
really either. I don't know.
I don't understand how he can spawn two games aside from his main game
I think it's
alone.
just yeah, they just kind of got the gameplay basics down enough that they're just like we can probably do this once a year. And
Well,
Ubisoft,
what I also found repulsive was like what okay, arguably I'm sure they probably made advancements in gameplay from 2 to Brotherhood and maybe even to Revelations.
they added more and more they just kind of had the same basic cake and then just put more and more
But the
frosting.
annoying thing is, like, that is all what they should have been doing in alpha and beta builds, and then just releasing a final product. So 3 should have had all the improvements without you having to buy every step along the way.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much retreading and rehash in all. Like, I mean, that's what like Brotherhood was the one where I got annoyed because I felt like I'd been sold kind of the same thing again, but just with like new junk in it. Like, it's just like you can send assassins on missions on menus. Like, there's not really any. You just kind of get stats. We basically added a stat screen, and like it's not that big a deal. Like, you call in dudes to help fight with you, but like the fundamental things you're doing are still just as scripted, just as straightforward. I don't know. Like in 2 I got like way into just exploring that whole city and everything. Brotherhood I was just like it would either not let me do it when I wanted to, or it would just kind of be like why am I doing this? Like I'm just chasing achievements at some point, and I was starting to lose that lust or whatever at that point.
Right.
So, and like yeah, arguably like I guess the most interesting thing they have added is their kind of, playing the AI multiplayer mode. So good job, I guess. Like that's kind of a neat thing, but I don't know. That's not enough for me to really stay excited. I don't know. I've been kind of disillusioned by that kind of game recently.
Mm.
So this is just yet another one, and by the sounds of it, I don't know. I'm a little wary of the review scores I'm seeing too. Like I'm at a point where I really just don't trust 90% of games media. Like it's just like not necessarily because of the thing we talked about last week with like the Doritos and the Mountain Dew. It's more just like I don't think your critic is thinking about this very much. Like it's just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. It's got the graphics and the sound, and I don't know, 9 out of 10. And you're just like, whoa, okay, like, but everything has that. I don't know what makes this one better. Like,
I think we should probably say for the one person still listening, probably after anybody that was listening turned it off because we started going off on a rant.
yeah,
It's totally okay if you like the game. Like, if you actually played 2 or 3 and you're like, hey, I could go for another round of this, and you were totally fine paying your $60 for another round of it.
it's like Madden.
Yeah, like, it's totally fine. I don't personally see it, but I also like a lot of games. I know people don't see why I would like that either.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest problem with us is they created this kind of weird hype machine, and I don't think half the people that are caught up in it understand that they're caught in it, and they probably don't even really like the games so much. They just want to be part of the hype.
It is a geniusly marketed franchise. Like
But
the way it
like,
all
I want to
started
know
in
how they
07.
did it.
Yeah, it was just like that trailer came out at the right time in the next generation discussion to where it was like, oh, dude, what's this? And then there's like, oh, there's this sci-fi layer on it. And you're just like, oh, I don't know what this is. And it's like, we got some Prince of Persia people, that's part of this legacy. And then everyone kind of got way up on it for some reason. And
Yeah.
I was I was kind of part of it, but like I was also one of those guys that played half of one
Well,
and then stopped because it was bad.
I bought
But
the
then
first
went back
game.
because they felt weirdly obligated when 2 came out.
I bought the first game because I didn't have much at the time to play, and I
Like
thought,
07 was
and I thought it looked interesting. Yeah, I got on my PS3 back when I got a PS3.
hmm
Well, like a bit after when it came out, but still. So like, yeah, I bought it because there was nothing really else to play, and even with nothing else to play, I couldn't get through it. And then I gave it another shot because I wanted to be part of like what people were saying. I wanted to see what they were saying. I want to have fun with games. I don't want to hate things. And so I got 2. Well, I rented 2, and I
I
played.
rented 2 as well and played all of it in
I
like
played
6 days.
15 hours in one sitting,
Yeah.
And that was totally fine. I had a great time. I was having a lot of fun. I was just sitting there. It was a Saturday, didn't have to work. Like, I had a great time playing it. And then I never went back to it. And every time I tried to put it back in and load up a game, I just didn't want to play it because I got bored of it. So, like, I still, even giving it all the chance I could, I still couldn't get into it. So I just don't see it. And now the fact that this hype train is so big, like, it's just making me angry because I don't see what other people are seeing, and I don't think they're seeing what they think they're seeing either.
Emperor has no clothes, man. What's that, dude?
Emperor has no clothes. Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to compare it to something else. Like, it's just like, kind of weird, overblown sci-fi nuttiness, conspiracies, whatever. Metal Gear has that, but I've gone back to 2 and 3 recently, like a decade after their release, pretty much, like in the case of 2.
I play 1 every once in a while, too.
Yeah, like, that franchise has more going on in it that you can go back and kind of still appreciate. Like, for me, the Assassin's Creed writing just kind of reminds me of all the things I didn't like about Lost, where they were just kind of, like, pulling out new things, and you're just kind of like, does this add up to anything? Dude, this conspiracy dude, he had the apple the whole time. George Washington. You're just like, this is so silly. What does that even mean? Dude, the Garden of Eden, they had it. That was all part of the conspiracy. And you're just like, what? And, like, they just seem to have gone fully off the rails into crazy town now.
They went full retard, and you never go full retard.
People have been throwing that phrase around, and you're right. Like, I don't know. I feel weird about that word because PC, whatever.
Oh, my brother is retarded, so I grew up with it. I'm fine.
Yeah, they went full retard, And
yeah.
I don't know.
You never go full retard.
It's true. Robert Downey told us that. That was like 4 years ago, so there's no excuse. They saw the movie, Tropic Thunder.
They obviously saw the movie.
Right. Oh, man.
The game is based on the movie.
I wish.
Loosely.
Better game. Whatever. At this point, I'm not saying anything valuable about Assassin's Creed anymore, but...
So yeah, I guess that's our soapbox rant.
Yeah.
It's a little kind of weird being able to jump up on the same soapbox as you. Because I usually disagree with some stuff you're saying. Okay. But this is the one game that we're both... What's that?
Rest Development, too. We're on the same page, yo.
Not that good?
Just kind of, yeah.
Like, you don't see why people care about it at all?
As much as they do, it's just like, I don't know, whatever. That's a whole nother thing. Yeah, unpopular opinions, what else we got?
So there's two things that we can agree on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably more.
Probably more, but for now, we'll sum it up. Assassin's Creed and Arrested Development are kind of overrated. Or, in fact, are. Very much so. Overrated. Boom.
Boom. Done.
TV! Let's talk about television.
Let's talk about television. Let's talk about Louie first, because you caught up and watched season 3.
Yeah, I got right back into where I was when the first season came out, where I was just like, oh, sweet, yeah, I got the third season, let's watch this. And I just went through all of them, because I just thought it was great. So, like, I get what you're saying, where it kind of has this less funny tone to some of it. Like, it's kind of a little more melancholy.
Well, if you remember, like I was talking about specifically, there's the one episode where he has to go see his dad.
Yeah.
And, there's a whole weird, surreal absurdity going on that makes me think that this whole series is just him in his head.
Right.
But do you see what I mean?
There's been a surrealist kind of whatever he's feeling at the time, like improvisation. Whoa, what the hell? Improvisation?
Improvisation?
Wow. Words. Yeah, improvising, whatever. Element throughout the whole show. Like, in the first episode, I think, is he's on a awkward date with this lady, and then she runs off into a helicopter and flies away. Like, that kind of thing. Like,
oh, yeah. I had forgotten
that would never happen.
Happens.
But also, like, the rotating cast of people that are his family. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, his mother is an old, weird person in one, and then, like, the lady from A Serious Man in another, and she's really nice.
Yeah.
But then, like, that same lady that played his mother in that episode is his date in a different episode.
Yeah.
And then, like, his brother disappears and he now has two sisters, but one of them is recast as Amy Poehler in this latest season. Like, it's just, it doesn't matter. Like, it's like whatever Louis feels is right at that time is fine.
Right.
Like, he does not care about canon.
And he's totally right.
Yeah, I really like the feel of the show as a result. Like, it's just, I never know what I'm going to get each episode. But then he does, in this season, kind of develop more arcs. And, like, I noticed about halfway through, he starts just throwing away the opening song entirely in favor of more episode. Like, he'll just have kind of like...
For the last 3 specifically.
Yeah, but also, even in the Robin Williams episode with the funeral, like, it's just like starts with credits over that sequence, and it's black and white and everything. Like, he's having a lot of fun experimenting with different stuff, and I really, really like it. Like, I don't know, I got a really creative charge out of a lot of it. Also, no one had told me David Lynch was in it, and I was really, really happy about that.
Yeah.
So he like a great character for him too, playing like a CBS executive specifically, because that's the people that canceled Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Good.
Like, I wonder if that was sort of therapeutic for him, because he plays just such an angry, weird guy. Jack Dahl.
Yeah.
His character. But I don't know. Yeah, I was really, really pleased with it. Like, last season seemed kind of didn't pull me the same way. Like, I really liked the military episode, The Duck.
Yep.
And they seem to do almost a callback to that, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, like the military episode with the duck is really... They went with that feel, that one episode for this whole season. They were just trying stuff out.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. It was definitely a lot more kind of just this one-man story kind of... I don't know. I really... Yeah, I was pretty impressed by it. Apparently he also hosted Saturday Night Live this week, which I meant to check out.
I have it PVR'd.
And I've been getting, like, I'm on that mailing list or whatever because I bought that Live at Beacon Hill or Beacon Theater or whatever.
Yep.
So I love his emails because they're very much...
They're literally him just, like, talking.
It's like, this is Louis, I'm on the internet, I don't know, how's it going? Like, it's just great.
Then he's just like, it's amazing to me that the storm did this and blah, 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 and all these people. And, like, he just goes. Like he's writing a letter to his mom or something.
Like, I like that it seems to be like he's that one man managing his own career kind of thing. Like, it's kind of like Bill Murray, but if Bill Murray wasn't reclusive and was very public.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's like, oh, he'll share thoughts with you, but it's also him running his own show, and you're just like, that's great. Yeah, I don't know. Louis season 3 was fantastic. I'm gonna revisit season 2 at some point too, and just kind of see. I lent my dad the first season because I think he might actually get a good bit of stuff out of that show too.
Yeah. What did you think of the 3-episode arc?
I thought it was cool. Like, it
was uncharacteristically triumphant at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which is kind of nice.
It was weird. Like, maybe it's just because Seinfeld was literally in it, but it was more of a Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of thing, because those have longer arcs, right?
Yeah.
But, like, I find Louis much more interesting than, like, Larry David. Like, I like what he's doing. I agree
completely.
But, like, those seem very goofy. Like, just goofy with nothing under it.
Well, you know? The Curb Your Enthusiasms are literally, like, Seinfeld without the stand-up comedy.
Like, just George Costanza walking around doing stuff. Like, with, like, the real guy.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, that's fine, but, like, even his, like, observations, like, there's one episode in the latest season that's kind of, like, does a cheeky little kind of, like, Israel versus Palestine, what are you gonna do with these 2 chicken restaurants?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's kind of as deep as that show will really get on any issue, and it kind of doesn't do anything with it. Whereas, like, I get more ponderous, put in a more ponderous place when I'm watching Louis sometimes, like ending in China with that thing, and I don't know, it just does stuff for me that show doesn't. But it's also, sometimes, but in a very different way. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure how much I was, like, outright laughing at absurdity this time, but it was still really engaging.
It still made you think, though, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've probably said I don't know a bunch, but I do know it's an awesome show. It's one of the best shows ever made, and you should watch it.
I have.
Okay, I was pointing at the viewer, or whatever, the listener.
Oh, you were actually pointing?
I pointed at my television.
Okay, weird. I thought you were pointing at me.
No, I got caught up in the moment of pointing, but it's okay.
Okay, so how does American Horror Story compare? It's
okay. At the end of it all, it's kind of like Beetlejuice. It's
okay.
weird. Yeah, it basically turns into Beetlejuice, which was really strange
Try
to
not
see
to
that.
get a little too specific because I do want to see it.
Okay, whatever. Like pretty early in the show, they established there's ghosts involved,
Yeah.
and yeah, Beetlejuice. I don't
Okay.
know.
So it's just like one poltergeist type thing, like bugging
The
them the whole time.
poltergeists are involved. The house and everything. Like after seeing it, I haven't seen season 2, but they could easily make the core premise of season 1 a show, but I don't think they are.
Hmm.
Which I'm more interested in that if they kind of go into weird different places with it. But yeah, it's still like it was never my issues with it. Maybe is it was never scary. It's just kind of like I don't know, morbidly entertaining.
Okay.
You know, like it's just like oh people died, but it's not really like oh man that's so messed up. It's more just like oh okay yeah gotcha. That was gross. I guess I don't know. Like maybe I'm just kind of too like I've seen too much horror stuff or something for it to really work every single week as like a series.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It just
Or they're
doesn't really.
just not trying hard enough.
Yeah, or they just didn't get the tone quite right. Like it is kind of this weird, awkward blender full of all sorts of stuff. Like it's just like, yeah, we got some Rosemary's Baby in there, Beetlejuice, Poltergeist. We're gonna throw some slasher movie stuff in there, maybe some Bloody Mary type stuff. Like just whatever's going on. Like just this big mix of all sorts of stuff. And then there's some performances. Like I mean, Jessica Lange got a lot of talk. I think she won a Golden Globe or something, and Emmy and whatever. I don't know. She plays creepy lady in a horror thing, but
Yay?
like that's a good job. It was on a cable produced show. It's all right. But yeah, it's a decent thing. It was not one of my favorite cable shows really, but it was a reasonable,
Serviceable.
serviceable little thing with its own little twist on it. I guess like for a weekly show, right?
So I should
Like
check it out.
I at least maybe watch like pretty early they established like what the tone of that series is.
So like the first 2 or 3 episodes.
If you're not feeling it, don't expect it to change. It'll just be more of that throughout the
Okay.
13 episodes or 12 episodes or whatever. So
Okay.
if you're not feeling it, get off that train, But yeah. Then I watched the rest of regular show season 2, which Mark Hamill and Goofy, Zaninus, and Rigby and Mordecai. I like it. It's a cartoon. It's crazy. Walking Dead. Do you want to talk about it?
Just maybe briefly mention Boardwalk Empire before we get into Walking Dead.
Okay, chronologically, Boardwalk Empire was after that, but you're right. I'm less invested. Man, that show I have such just kind of it's just disappointing to me because Michael Shannon is a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Buscemi I've enjoyed in a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Pitt I enjoyed a lot in Funny Games. I thought he was really devious and cool.
Mm-hmm.
Dabney Coleman, I got this whole history of Dabney Coleman stuff. Kelly MacDonald was in No Country for Old Men. That's one of my favorite movies. She's right there. She's in it. It's just a boring show. Like somehow all these people just don't add up to a show I really ever care about. Like it's just I don't know what's going on. Like I feel like something's not working every time I watch it, and I'm like playing on my phone and just distracted, not engaged. Like, it's just like we got a bunch of gangsters. It's the 20s running alcohol, and you're just like, all right, okay, what I don't know. Like, it's just something about it. It just never clicks ever. Like, it's like I've seen 14, 15 episodes of it now, and like there's like 5 or 10 minute little chunks here and there that are kind of like, oh, that was kind of interesting. Oh, Al Capone, look at that, or whatever. But then, just as they just don't know how to do plot arcs well or something. I don't know what's happening. It's just it is yet to really ever work as an episode. Like I've put up with series for a while before I get into them. Like I'll give them a couple like a bunch of chances, and usually there's at least one episode where it's like, all right, they almost had it that time. Like for me, Walking Dead was actually one of those shows. Like I didn't like the first season, but like partway through season 2, there was like an episode or two that like had all the pieces coming close. It
Yeah.
was getting there. So I was like, there's a lot of potential here that I think will be realized soon. So this is great. I'm gonna stick with this.
Mm-hmm.
Boardwalk Empire, it's been like 14 hours of my time, and I've yet to have that moment. And it's I don't know. Like I'm kind of getting depressed with that whole thing. Like it's just not working. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I
Should probably just abandon it.
probably like at this point I'm kind of just like, oh right, I have those on my hard drive. Maybe I should clear those off of there, but I feel bad. Like I should at least see what's going on. Like, and I again, like the actors, like Michael Shannon specifically, dude is at kind of a peak of coolness right now, and I don't know. They just need to get rid of some of those characters that aren't being cool, or I don't know.
He's so hot right now.
So hot right now, dude. He's so angry. He's so angry.
So
But yeah,
angry.
Take Shelter. Check that movie out. It's way better. If you want just a Michael Shannon experience, check that out. But yeah, okay. Walking Dead, season 3, episode 4.
Mm-hmm. Did we talk about episode 3? Because you hadn't seen it.
Oh, maybe. Oh, right. I'd only seen part of it. Yeah. Dude, okay, so put up the spoiler flags. We're gonna be talking about Walking Dead. You know. Oh, okay.
Doing that so I could see. Yeah.
Woo!
So I could see the WAV file.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Governor shot all those dudes.
Yeah.
I was okay with that.
Okay.
They're military guys. I don't know. What are they gonna do? They got guns. You might not be able to trust them. I mean, Rick's totally killed that other guy in that other thing, so maybe similar rationales there. I can see it. Creepy room full of heads though. That's a little weird. It's just a little odd. Like I'm still not like, oh man, that guy's an evil man.
My thing isn't necessarily that he killed those guys. It's that he brought his whole posse and they ambushed them. Like they didn't even try to talk anything out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Whereas my main
I don't
issue
really care either way. So
that he's dishonest with his own people about it. Like,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird. I just don't get his rationale for who you welcome into the fold and who you just shoot in the face. Like, he's a little unpredictable that way. Like, it's just like, oh, this Merle guy, this one-armed guy, that guy's awesome. This soldier I've never met, it's just like, oh.
Yeah, because maybe that soldier that he shot right away was totally just like, dude, I will kill anybody. Like, I'm ready to go. I have training. I will do anything you want. But
maybe.
You just shot him.
Yeah, who knows? I have no idea. But, yeah, I mean, the show is clearly setting him up to be kind of like a secret villain or something. Like, oh, everything seems fine, but... Oh,
I hope they go more morally ambiguous with that, though.
I hope so, because, I mean, Rick, you could argue, is kind of getting really messed up with... he just straight up macheted that dude's head, which, on one level, I get, but on another level, that's really messed up. So,
no, I was totally okay with it. Fuck that.
I was okay with it in that context, like, that dude was bad news.
Yeah.
But that's still, like, that's still a similar decision in a way. Like, you killed a not walker. You just killed a guy.
There's a difference between defending yourself or ambushing a group of guys, though.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know, like, if you want to draw a distinction between the two, that's the distinction.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whether the reasoning behind it, we don't really know yet, I guess, for the governor's side. So
yeah, for me, I'm still just kind of like, weird headroom is weird. But, yeah. As for episode 4, though, okay, first of all, just, like, before we get into the obvious things that happen, did Mustache Prisoner guy die?
Which one's that guy?
Because there's the 2 prisoners they kind of just kicked off into that cell block, and they were kind of like, oh, come on, let's join the crew, come on, like, for a bunch of the episode.
Yeah.
Did that one guy die, or no?
Neither of them did, no.
So those 2, okay, because, like, I wasn't sure I lost
the one guy, was stuck, not with Rick and them, that was the black guy.
Yeah, the guy with the axe and everything, yeah.
He was with Rick. The other guy was with,
Carl?
No, what's the Asian guy's name? Glenn.
Glenn, okay.
Because they all meet up in the, like, catacomb area.
Oh, okay, yeah, I lost track of that character at some point, and I was, like, we were watching it, like, live broadcast that time, and I came back from the bathroom late one time, so I was just like, did I just miss some dude's death or something? I don't know what happened.
Oh.
But, yeah, like, just, okay, good. Because I like that dude. I think that dude has potential. Anyway, okay. Alright. Last season, T-Bone didn't say anything for all season 2.
And now he will never say anything again.
Right, and I think I had the same experience as many people on Reddit did, where it's like, oh, they actually gave him something to care about, like, where he kind of makes a case for the dudes joining his crew.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, man, we should lighten up. Let those
They
prisoners
gave him
talk.
an opinion.
Yeah, they gave him a thing, and I was just like, oh, okay, finally, T-Bone weighs in. They actually are going to have a thing about, like, prison stereotyping or something. Like, maybe they'll do something.
Mhm.
And then he got eaten. So, yeah.
He went out in a blaze of glory.
That's true. He saved Carol, I guess is her name.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he wrestled those zombies and got his throat torn out real bad. It was one of those, like, ugh, gross.
And his arm.
Yeah, his arm.
And then the rest of his body when you see him later.
So that's the end of T-Bone. That's the bad news. Good news. Finally got rid of the worst character in the whole show. Laurie's dead.
Yep.
I'm high-fiving you across the internet. Season 3, where Walking Dead finally killed its shark, and now there's nothing it can jump over.
That's true. I'm a little torn because I'm glad she's dead.
Hell yeah, you are.
But I don't know. It just seemed like a weird way to go out. Maybe it happens in the comics, though.
I honestly don't know. But you mean just like she dies in childbirth, like that kind of weird thing?
It's like, again, like I felt this way with Herschel, like just being crippled instead of dead. Like, I think they kind of bitched out. They just didn't want to see a pregnant woman get ripped apart.
Oh, okay. Whereas, I don't know. Like, why? You think it'd be like they didn't want to see an old man get ripped apart?
No, they didn't want it because Herschel probably plays well with the crowd. Because they kept him around, they probably didn't want to kill him. See, I like it when they did unexpected things, which is what the first season was full of, because you weren't really attached to any one character yet.
Right.
I don't like that they're getting you attached to characters because you know that, oh, that's good old Rick, he'll always be around. Because from what I understand, the comics are totally not like that. Like, in the same page that you meet a character, he can die.
Oh, okay.
Like, everybody's game. And I would love to see Rick die. I think that would keep it really fresh for me, personally. Like, I love Rick as a character, but I would love to see him just get demolished by something.
Oh, so you're saying this was a safe elimination, is what you're saying?
It's a safe way of the elimination for sure, but like
it totally is. But I mean, like I get what you're saying, but like I'm really looking at like this is the Rick Grimes show featuring friends.
I don't like that.
I guess, yeah, because it does put him in that safe zone. Not to get too spoilery about it complete. Oh wait, I can't even talk about it because you haven't finished the season.
Of what?
Okay, Game of Thrones has a rotating cast of characters, right?
Yeah. Are you talking about Stark?
What?
Ned Stark?
Oh, I don't know. Like, somebody might not do so well.
Is that who you were talking about? Because I know he dies.
Okay, good.
I've known forever because that's all anybody ever talked about when the books came out before the TV show did.
Okay, yeah. For me, that was a big thing in that show because, like, I thought they were pitching this as the Sean Bean show and Friends.
Okay.
And then they had the balls to do that, I guess. Which then kind of made me go, like, wow, I have no idea what's going to happen now. Like, anyone could die. This is crazy.
And I think you need that uncertainty in a show about the apocalyptic wasteland.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
I guess so.
And even the way she went out, like, it was still kind of okay. It was a little bit sad, mainly probably
because I wanted it to be, but I am steel to that stuff now, so it's fine.
Well, you just don't have a heart.
Well, it's harder to reach nowadays. Yeah, it's in there.
No, it's not in there.
I think it is. Hold on. It's in there.
I don't believe it is.
Okay, well,
rip it out and show me it.
It's been a while since I saw Akiru and totally lost it, so maybe it is gone, but I don't know. But that's a sad movie, dude. He has cancer. It's just messed up. But okay. Dude, whatever. Looper's really good too. On that note, but just gonna bring it up again. Movie of the week, Looper.
Looper.
TV series of the week, Louie. Yeah.
Anyways, so Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
That dude, remember how you said, oh, maybe that was Panic. Yeah, I was talking to Panic about it. And he was saying, like, why did Rick go after that one, like, black guy after he chopped the machete in that dude's head?
Yeah.
And I was just like, because he can't trust anybody. This is exactly why. Like, he created a bad situation with zombies everywhere coming after them by sounding the alarms off.
Oh, which dude? I thought that was a separate dude.
That was a black guy that he said you better run to.
Oh, yeah, okay. So he should have just killed that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So that's why you kill people.
Right. You can't trust him. You can't
This
let
is
him
why you have to be here to talk, Panic.
Mm-hmm.
Explain yourself.
Explain that.
Explain
Yeah,
that.
he's busy. But okay. Yeah, I didn't even realize who that character was. I just thought there was another character off in the prison somewhere. But yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I think that was the scene I walked in on or something. I was just like, "What's going on? What? Oh man, who's that guy? Oh, they're fighting." It was just like, all right, I don't know what happened, but yeah, okay. Generally speaking, I like where the show is at right now. I think generally.
I think so. Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Again, a very action-heavy episode, but I think it worked out in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was offset nicely by Andrea and Michonne's storyline of nothing happening.
Yeah, not really. Just kind of hanging out in that town and sniffing around.
Oh, I don't like Merle. I remember now that I hate Merle.
You don't like Michael Rooker?
No, not really in general, but I don't like the character Merle.
Oh, all right. I've kind of warmed up to him. I think really just because I saw him at Comic Expo and he's a funny guy. But that's not a good reason to
like a misogynistic, racist asshole.
So yeah, maybe his character on the show is kind of irredeemable and lame. I am not objective on that front. It's just like, oh, Mike Rooker's got like a sword arm. This is great.
That's sword arm.
Yeah, he does. It's pretty awesome. But it's just like, dude, his whole quest to find his brother, it's just like, dude, that's the lamest thing ever. Maybe you're right. I have no idea. I think it's just funny. I like.
Like, I wonder how they're gonna go with that.
I'm not sure. The two brothers, man. The brothers. Different opinions on the world.
Just like the Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, the Merle and Doral.
You'll be hooked on the brothers.
Yeah, blue meth. That's a thing in there. It's a little joke.
Blue meth.
Yeah.
I gotta get back to watching Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I guess so. Then we can talk about all about it. That'd be great.
All about it.
Yeah, because I have positive and negative thoughts, and I don't know. Yeah.
That doesn't sound like you.
Yeah, no, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, man, it's one of the few perfect things. One of the few.
Movie kind of sucks if you watch it again.
I've seen it 7 times, so that's just not true. Also, okay, final little plug. One True God, the subreddit. It's worth looking into. It's really important. A lot of great.
So that's r/
r/One True God. It's probably the greatest subreddit I've found in a while.
What does it deal with?
Well, I mean, it's right in the name. It's right in the name. True Lord and Savior, Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
It is photoshops featuring the high prophet, Nicolas Cage.
That's easily more important than anything we talked about.
Probably, yeah. So go check that out. It's on the Reddit.
The Reddit? You can find it via the Googles?
Yeah, type into the Googles thereddit.com.
I'm totally going to do that right now.
Hopefully it'll show up.
Like, what happens if you do?
If not, just follow me on Twitter and I'll link you to it.
Yeah, it does show you right there.
It's this weird little website I found. Yeah. And good luck with that election tomorrow, America.
Try not to screw it up too bad for the rest of us.
Yeah, I don't even know how to do that, though. I'm glad I'm not in your shoes. Haha. See you later.
As always, on Facebook, you can go facebook.com/thepixelresponse. Email address is podcast@pixel-response.com. Twitter is @pixel_response. You can get me at Exposure, EXFAUXSURE. You can get Nathan at Krasner, KRAZNR.
Woo!
Look for us on the Stitcher app. Just type in Pixel Response, we're the only ones on there, so you can listen to us on the go. And as always, http://pixel-response.com for more. And we will see you guys later.